Double Sports Talk Worldwide with the news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, some boxing news, a little something, something. You know, in the world of boxing, we got a whole lot of championships, sanctioned bodies, just belts all over the place. We got 4 belts that that are significant. And then they coming through the back door with the IBO and the IBA. That would probably be about 6, wouldn't it? Then you got the regular for the WBA, right? Now that was that 7? Then franchise, the WBC just brought that in, the franchise. So that's 8, right? So you got 8. Then you got a little stuff under that, like the gold champion I've seen, the diamond champion, and all that other stuff that halfway counts. So that's a lot of stuff that counts. You say I told you about 2 years ago, didn't I? You in an auditorium, which you probably wouldn't be right now, but you was in an auditorium and somebody says, "The champ, stand up." Everybody except you gonna stand up. So all champs all over the damn place, man. So we have to get it down and focus a little bit, right? Because if you don't, you'll be all over the place. Now, for real champions, being called a regular champion is probably like, insulting when somebody's a real champion and they know they're the champion. WBA, I don't know why they do that because the WBA has a champion and then they have a regular champion and he's not even the second best in their rankings or the third, sometimes not in the top 5. An example, the heavyweight regular champion is Manuel Char. And do you have him in your top 5 or 10? Okay, and he's the regular champion. So, but when he walks out to the ring, the WBA champion of the world. So that just, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that going on. Now, here's what was bothering me. Devin Haney and Jermall Charlo should not be called regular champions. I told y'all about a couple of months ago, that's what they're going to start trying to call them in articles. And you just seen it coming. Boop, we're going to start calling them regular, right? Funny thing about it is, they're in the WBC. The WBC doesn't even have a regular champion. They don't. But they're going to have one now. Why? Everybody knows this is in the boxing. Like I say, most times if somebody found me in the internet somewhere, then you know a whole lot about boxing. I'm probably not telling you nothing new. But just in case. WBC, Canelo Alvarez, who's a problem all over the damn time, it's most of the time him. So they figure stuff out for Canelo. So Canelo's had to fight his mandatory challenger, and he's a very dangerous guy who they just called bigger, stronger, and better than Darian Chinko. No, bigger, stronger, and faster than Darian Chinko. That's what they just called him in the article because Canelo's thinking about fighting Darian Chinko. So people understand Jermall Charlo. So he's the mandatory, and he's done a lot to get there. About 2 interims and 2 eliminators, at least. Did what he had to do. Plus, even though sometimes when you're the champion a weight division lower, you can jump right into the mandatory. They made him earn it, so he's there. When he gets there, Canelo didn't want to fight him. So they gave Canelo a brand new belt. That's something they thought of called the franchise belt, enabling Canelo to go fight fights that they're going to tell you that are more lucrative or more, people want to see them more, right? Which we haven't seen one like that, right? Because Kovalev definitely is not better than Charlo. Right, but they would tell you that, so he did not have to fight his mandatory. They said it's not really a belt; it's a title, and so he can go. He's big in boxing, and he can go to different divisions and make significant fights. Just came up with a rule because the mandatory was Charlo, but they said Charlo is the real champion. That's what was with stipulations. He's the real champion. So for now, and they knew with time, the real one is really Canelo. Canelo's really the one who's the real one. And you say that a couple of months, boom, you can start calling Charlo regular. And that's what happened to Devin Haney as well. Everybody knows Devin Haney's probably one of, if you don't think Devin Haney's the best lightweight, he's in your top 3 lightweights from the whole division. So not to mention this little old sanctioning body, right? Lomachenko has to fight him. And think about this. If Lomachenko fights him, and then he has the belt, right? He has that WBC belt. So when he goes into a fight with Teofimo Lopez, it's for undisputed. Lomachenko, and here's where it's really tricky, Lomachenko asked for that belt. Like, hey, didn't y'all just give Canelo something where he don't have to fight his mandatory but still get props? Where do I sign up for that? Boom. They said, you ain't got to, brother. We got you covered. They gave it to him, right? After he asked for it. So now Devin Haney is the real champion, right? He's the franchise. That's some stuff. Okay, you cool. You get some props from the WBC, but from the world, we're acknowledging those guys that got the title, the WBC title, the real title. Those are the real champions. Devin Haney's lightweight WBC and your boy's middleweight WBC, and they're bad boys. Go see them if you want to. And the people that's not going to see them, think about this though, are the top 3 pound for pound in anybody's list. Canelo and Lomachenko gonna be in everybody's top three. If it's not me, it's not mine, right? Because Demetrius Andrade is in front of Canelo. Wherever Canelo is, Andrade is in front of him in my list. So if we put Canelo at 9, then Demetrius is 8. Canelo at 5, Demetrius is 4. Canelo at 1, then Demetrius is the champ, and then you can start at 1. Something, because he ain't gonna be better than Demetrius if he's not gonna keep fighting him. This is how that's gonna work. And Lomachenko could be up high about 4 or 5, but he's not gonna be in front of Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford is suicide for him to fight, right? So that's not gonna happen neither. So whereas Lomachenko is, Terrence Crawford's in front of him. You know what I mean? That's so my list is messed up for probably a lot of people, right? But I'm watching. I don't care what somebody's telling me. Why am I gonna care what Ring Magazine and ESPN and them say when I've seen what they've been talking about and what their agenda is? So their lists don't matter. I'm watching it myself, and I'm fair enough to know. So that you probably are too. But the bottom line is, they're starting to do exactly what I told you they're gonna do. They're gonna start calling Devin Haney and Jermall Charlo regular champions, and they are far from regular champions. Because regular champions, if your name ain't exactly Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? He has a regular belt right now. But let's make sure this is clear. Guillermo Rigondeaux is all that. He's still supposed to be the IBF 122-pound champion. He never lost that belt. He only lost to Lomachenko when he went way up to 130, from 118 to be honest, right? So that's different. That's boxing royalty. He just happens to have that belt. I'm pretty sure he don't care about that belt because he is trying to be undisputed at that weight. That's weights where some bad dudes are too. That's a whole different conversation. But bottom line, regular is not good enough for a Devin Haney or Jermall Charlo. So when you see people writing it in the articles, turn your nose up, right? Put your antenna up and just leave the article. Because people that write articles know these things. But what they do is they just write it, right? And if you do it a few times, a casual fan was, that regular, that's the same thing Manu Char is. Same thing Roy Fielding is. And them kind of cats. No slight to them. There's some bad boys too when you talk about the norm, but the very best, they're not, right? Well, haven't proven it of late. Not to mention that, I'm not to say that they're not decent fighters. Roy Fielding is decent, and Manu Char is decent, but we wouldn't put them in the very best. And that's what a champion means. So regular is not good enough for Devin Haney or Jermall Charlo. So when you see it somewhere, then you know something's wrong. Something's fishy. Don't let them do that to us. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.